Sora versus DongRaeGu.
It's the DRG starting to the top right of the map with a 1-0 lead in the best-of-3 series here at the winners match at the GSL Code A. One map win away from going to Code S. And he's up against the Protoss player. Was successful on Habitation Station against his opponent. This is Yonsu, map choice of Sora, spawning here at the bottom left of the map in red, the Sejantus player. Looking determined, looking furious, he wants to take this. Doesn't want to go up against another Terran player today.
No way. Wants to just get out of here right away. He's going to have to turn this series around first, though. Pylon in the main. So no Forge Fast Expand unless he does Forge in the main, which is something we don't really see all too often these days, but would be one reason why it would be a good idea on his map pick. And he could try to cannon DRG.
I expect a very different game from DongRaeGu because last game was just so super aggressive. It was an endless barrage of Zerglings just barreling down on that wall that Sora was trying to get up. And at some point he simply ran out of resources. Yeah. He couldn't get another building up to really block that wall completely, and those Zerglings, they just didn't stop. And he, I think, never really expected this many Zerglings to attack him. And it transitioned into kind of a normal game, but that started into a game that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he saw an opening and he ran through it with Zerglings.
Yeah. And right now we have DongRaeGu once again starting with their hatch first here, not wasting any time with an early pool.
Sora goes into Gateway. See how greedy he wants to play this, how late he walls, and just in general how he transitions. I expect that he's going to play a much more safe game. And
oh wow, DRG. Double hatch before pool.
Up a game?
Why not to? Yeah, up a game, why not risk it?
And I mean, not only is he up a game, he's up a series. So this is like totally flexible for him to do. And I like this choice.
And he gets gas before pool as well. Okay, it doesn't get any more greedy than that. The only build that is more greedy than this is triple hatch before pool, and this is something that I've only heard of. I think Cats did that once, but nobody else ever would dare to go into such a build. So
Cats
this is getting insane.
I said Cats will do everything once.
At least.
There's the Nexus. The Overlord saw that there was no wall. And when you see that, you can... I think that's the reason why he went for the gas before pool. Because he was like, well, you don't even have a Forge probably. Because if you did, first of all, you'd already be at my natural cannoning me. And second of all, most people are not hiding the Forge on the main.
Well, one of the things that Sora is not doing is scouting. He is just, I think, now moving out with the first unit. What is that actually? Mothership Core is the first scout that he has. Aiming for that... Is it aiming for the natural, or is he actually having a quick look at the third base? I don't know. We're going to find out in a second. But the thing is, this is the first time that he actually sees what's going on. And he's going to that third. So he will see that there is already a third base.
Yeah. The late pool means the Queen will be delayed. And he's actually going to be able to do some damage to the hatchery with his Mothership Core if he wants to hang out there. But,
yeah, that's negligible.
Just going to poke. Doesn't even attack it. Well, he might as well. He can damage the Queen too and then get away. Might be able to do some damage with some of his first Gateway units. He doesn't have anything walking across the map, but since he doesn't have Phoenixes either, it's just really not going to matter what he does here. In fact, just chasing these Zerglings is going to be more lucrative for him. Gets one. That's all he's going to get.
The big question is, what is Sora going to do as a follow-up? Will we see him pushing out with a few Immortals and just trying to put pressure on that third base? He already has the Robo there, so he could do that. He could also go into a Warp Prison. There's several options that he has. The Robotics was not scouted by DRG, and that is a big, big plus for Sora here. And here comes the first Immortal, so DRG has to be ready. His speed is up. Doesn't start the Roach Warren just yet. Should do that pretty soon against the opening that we saw here from Sora. Usually you will start that a little bit faster if you see that your opponent goes into a Gateway first instead of a Forge. So let's see how DongRaeGu is going to handle this.
Yeah. This is really scary that he doesn't know about it. He pokes at the front. Roach Warren does go down here. It's about 640. It's just without knowing, you might still accidentally commit to too many drones without... really realizing what it is that you're up against, and then when the attack hits, you're like, ah. But he's got so much extra larva, so much production with the 3-hatch economy that he gets so early.
On the other hand, this is very do or die for Sora. Take down that third at least, or die to DRG's follow-up. And he sees the Immortal. Oh my god, that scout, those lings are the right moment, the right time.
Worth $1 million, you know?
Yeah. Warp Prism is being built now, but he sees what's going on. And he has 48 Harvesters, builds a few more, but from here on out, it's all going to be units, units, and more units. But he needs more Overlords.
Needs more Overlords, indeed. They just feel them just pop, but he's going to need more than that to make more Roaches. Spinecrawler going up as well. And this push is still so scary.
Yeah.
Where's the Warp Prism? Okay, just popped out. It's all headed over.
Okay, there's already supply blocked. Overlord is on the way. Lava is a big issue for him.
Yeah, he made only 52 drones, but he just needs time. This is a very fast attack that we're seeing here. It's an Immortal push with a Gateway expand, so it hits slightly faster than it would with Forge.
He's trying to buy himself some time here, and he does. The Spinecrawlers are being built.
He's going for the natural here right away. Not even going for the natural. There's the Warp in, off creep, in a safe location.
Still there. Here come more sentries. Only 5 Roaches, 10 Zergling. That's not a lot. The Spinecrawler very important. The Queens too. Force Field on the ramp could ruin his day.
Yeah, Force Field on the ramp could actually end this game. Here we go. Force Field's going down to protect his units from behind against the Zerglings. That one Spinecrawler going down immediately to the Immortals. And not even needing Force Fields on the ramp here, really. Having high ground vision here with that Mothership core, just saving his Force Fields for the units on the ground. And DRG
position so far. DRG, well, he's not out of it just yet, but oh my god, the Roach is trapped in a corner.
Time warp on those drones as well. This is not looking good, but he's got so much production, still 13 larva.
He can lose Harvesters. It's all about keeping those bases alive, and as long as he has the production, he's gonna be okay. It's only 2 Immortals. You can't beat that, but does he have the lava? Does he have the injects that he needs there?
Time warp here on the ramp, but no Force Fields to accompany it. 2 Spinecrawlers repositioning. 3 Gateways going up for Sora right now. He starts to realize if he goes all the way with this, he wins the game and brings us to a game 3.
But we have 59 army supply for DRG now. He's getting more and more units. He's just waiting for the next wave. He's at 42 Harvesters. It's no problem for him. His income is still good.
What do you think about him not controlling that ramp? I mean, he used all his forces on the ground, which I feel was a smart choice, but now that the units can come from the main base, DRG is just overwhelming with production. And
I think he could even have walked into the main base and just force fielded the ramp and took everything down.
He could have done that too, maybe. You know, he just stayed at the natural instead, trying to use the choke points, I guess, against DRG.
The thing
DRG is droning.
DRG had too many Harvesters when that push hit, and I think he was a little bit afraid that DRG would just pull drones, and with the drones could take this, because he added extra production. I don't think he thought he could really sustain the army size and kill DRG.
DRG sees that the gases haven't been taken.
Keep in mind, he didn't have a lot of sentries. He actually had comparable low sentry count because he just warped a few in, so there was not a lot of energy on those sentries. Once he hit the first few force fields, I think he ran out of force field energy, and that's one of the main reasons why he backed.
Well, this is a second wave that comes in with the additional gateways. 1 more Immortal actually looks like it's going to walk out here too. We'll put him up to a total of 4, so 2 more Immortals in total. Extra gateways and still no gases, so a lot of Zealots in this push, Zealot heavy. He's going to try to harass in the main base, draw DRG back there, and then go for the third, I think. If he goes for the third base, gets that, then maybe he can transition out of this. Lair is being made at the natural meanwhile.
Yeah, Lings are already running in the main base.
But he pulls him back. All of those Roaches, that's a bit unnecessary, DRG.
Well, the thing is that now that the Warp Prism is damaged, it's going to be a little bit difficult of really warping in too much in the main base, since the Queen might be able to snipe it. And we have already Spinecrawlers over at the third, at least 1, and that's the rest of the army. 100 army supply against 74, and more Spinecrawlers building. A lot more Roaches being produced. This is super dangerous.
DRG he brings all of his units back. I think the idea was to distract DRG, then come in while DRG was away, but now he's already back and already set up. He's got a concave. He's on top of this ramp and also on the other line of the side block. And here we go. Time warp goes down.
And here comes that army. Is waiting a little bit longer. Good force fields on the first ramp. Can he get the rest off? Splits the army of DRG in half. Doing a good job, but those transfuses that we see from the Queens in the back and now the force fields on the ramp are about to be gone. A few of the Roaches can already attack the Zealots on the low ground.
Yep, Zealots on the low ground here, going down so quick. Once those force fields are gone, he's going to have way too much. He gets us around here. The Spinecrawler at the back. Way too much for Sora.
Wow.
And DRG looking poised to advance with a 2-0 here into Code S, taking first place in the group. Will win to the 4-0, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Dancing the Roaches. Goodbye, the last of the Immortals here.
Dancing the Roaches, dancing the Queens, dancing the Lings. 14 army supply against 69, 3 base against 2. No tech to speak of for Sora.
He starts a Forge. Yeah. He starts a Forge.
Ooh, whoa, that is
Spire. The Roach speed is going to finish, and he's going to end this game.
You could argue that that is a fantasy GG timing. Some people would probably even say that is a Marine King GG timing.
Well,
I don't know if it would go that far already, but still.
I think he's going to actually get the hatch.
he most likely will.
And then
Do you think he can start a comeback here? Do you think he has a chance?
No, but this is like a bit sloppy by DRG to not have observed where the Warp Prism was going. He didn't have an Overlord to spot for this. But he's, I mean, he's going to lose all of these Zealots, and then what's going to stop DRG from killing with the army he already built? He's just going to remake the hatch. He has so many minerals, it doesn't matter. And, I mean, worker count for DRG is still pretty low at 53.
I want to see the production tab, because I think he started tech already, additional 1. And I also don't think that Sora will...
There's a Spire.
Okay, yeah, he should have a Spire, right? And
yeah,
then
it's almost finished.
The Mutalisks will be a huge problem.
Although the Spire is off creep now, I don't think that's going to matter.
No, it shouldn't. The hatch is already being rebuilt.
He's just trying to trade against these roaches. One Mutalisk will kill the Warp Prism, and...
There's a 4th. That 4th is going to die. The Immortal drop at the 4th, that's going to be a cancel.
That's really nicely done. But the Immortal... Oh my god, he's doing so much with so little here. He's going to go back to the main base, or maybe even drop on the low ground and try to poke these roaches, or even on that little corner, whatever you want to call that, little dip, little bowl.
If Sora pulls off a comeback here, that would be so absolutely amazing. I don't see it happening, but that would be incredible. Right now, we have just DRG at 140 supply against 79. A third base is such... It's dream for Sora right now. Getting a third base here, now that the Mutalisks are in the game, the Warp Prism is going to be shut down.
Yep, I guess just one Mutal will do it, and he sends one Mutalisk to chase the Warp Prism.
He actually has... He built only 2, because he says, like, yeah, the only thing that you're going to do is take down the Warp Prism here.
He needs to drop the Immortal out so it lives a little bit longer, but I guess he's not too worried about it. Still the worker count for DRG very low.
Third base started here for Sora, and let's see if DRG is going to contest that. Is he actually allowing his opponent to get a third base?
It looks like he might. If those 2 Immortals had come back home, I would have said, okay, he can hold this third base against DRG's push easily, or at least trade so well against DRG's push that it's not worth it for him to kill the third. But now DRG just lets it go, and I think he's going to go attack it. I don't know if he's seen it. I mean, actually think he's seen the base.
He has to attack it. He is tripling his opponent's army supply. So he has to do something with that.
He just... Okay, he's moving out. I think he's really going to attack, but he's being a little bit, like,
he's a bit timid
about it.
There, yeah. He didn't really commit to Mutalisks. He's now going into Hydralisk instead. The 1-1 is about to hit. But I'm very surprised that he's playing this so passive.
I mean, he's maxed out. What does he think is going to happen? He needs to at least either attack the third base or take a 4th. He's not going to remax with Hydralisk. He only has 5 Hydras, and he doesn't really have any more Hydras he can make because he doesn't have enough open supply.
Well, he's going to find out about the third base very soon, and once he sees that, he should move over and try to take that. That's also a commitment to cannons. I really like that the Sora went for this, but now the small army is really becoming a problem. There are the snipes already taking down a few of the pylons. 1, 2 down. Moves back, always just back and forth with the army that he has, and behind it he's going for the Hydralisks now, spreading the creep farther towards the middle of the map, snipes one of the gateways, and is just pushing farther into the natural.
Warp in here blocking out those roaches, though. You know, when you asked me if I thought Sora could make a comeback, at that moment I thought no chance. At this moment, I think there's definitely a chance. +2's on the way, Blink's done, third base is up, DRG's 4th base is not up. He has a bunch of Hydralisks. The one thing that Sora has basically been doing is trying to abuse DRG's lack of tech with a ton of cannons, making all his Immortals, but he doesn't have the robotic support base, so he doesn't really have a good answer for the Hydralisks, and he lost a lot of sentries, so force fields are not going to be his best friend anymore either.
The Warp Prism just simply with the 2 Immortals kept DRG back at home. DongRaeGu wanted to walk across the map and kill his opponent, but he couldn't really do it.
Time Warp trying to save him here. He blinked forward and did not have any sentries for support. He has 6 sentries until that 4 pylon was a bad idea. Now the sentries are with the army. 2 Mutalisks going for harassment. I mean...
the famous 2 Mutalisk harass.
It's Mario and Luigi right there. Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie taking down a lot of the probes. That is actually taking a huge toll. Well, the Mothership Core is gone.
Mothership Core goodbye. No more recalls either. And the Immortal count is what he's using to keep himself alive here, but there are 32 Hydralisks.
Bert
32
is dead, and Ernie is going to die. At the same time, the Roach Hydra composition is moving in. There is nothing to contest those Hydras right now. They are amazing against this composition that we have. from Sora. There
Once
is
the
no
shields
Colossi.
are gone, this is going to be the end of those Immortals. No Photon Overcharge.
Yeah, but there's still a lot for Sora, and he has upgrades. This is on a +1. We have better upgrades for DRG, but still he needs to move back here, pulling forward, and suddenly it's DRG who's being chased.
Yep, DRG on the ropes here. He's got a huge second wave of units, though. He has a huge second army that just isn't shown, but he didn't. Well, he didn't kill the base.
He had a huge first army.
It's true.
He was tripling his opponent's army supply. Now he's just doubling it.
Well, Sora is trying to make his way back into this. He starts a second Robo. His first Colossus is on the way. Range started as well.
DRG has still not droned properly. Yeah, he's still at 57. He never droned up to saturate 2 bases, and he also didn't take the gas at his 4th.
Do you think he thinks he has more drones than he actually does?
He might, yeah.
Because it's kind of how he's playing it.
Or he just thought, well, I'm going to kill you now anyways, and then just got stuck with the idea of just producing units and running over.
This might be too much. There's no Immortals this time, only 2 sentries. He's got a concave at the bottom of the ramp, line of sight blocker helping out as well.
The Immortals gone is a big part, because now the Roaches can really tank a lot of damage.
And even the against Hydralisk, Immortals just do so much tanking. They don't do damage, but they do tanking.
Well, there's one Colossus. Needs to be careful. Doesn't have range yet, which means that the Hydras have exactly the same range.
Yep. And this Warp Prism is so annoying. Meanwhile,
but the third base has to die here. I mean, come on.
He has to kill it. If he just walks away here, he's going to basically... He's going to just continue to poke the base. When the army comes down, he attacks it. That one Colossus
army is so big. The Colossus, I mean, he can really contest the Colossus with those Hydras now.
Zealots coming in here with that Warp Prism harass.
DRG is losing a lot of harvesters. He's down to 40.
Yeah. If you know, if this somehow is a hold miraculously for Sora with this Colossus, he could turn this game around. The Nexus goes down, though.
Nexus goes down.
That's the big point.
He needs to move back now. He needs to really save the rest of his harvesters, and now he does with the Roach that he just built. But Sora is, I mean, he is fighting tooth and nail here. That Protoss player is not giving up.
This is crazy.
I was joking about a fantasy GG timing, but still, he has actually a chance, and he believes in his ability to take this. And DRG makes a few mistakes there, maybe a few wrong decisions, not droning up, not really relying on a solid economy, just on his massive army, and that gives Sora a shot.
The creep here is going to spot the army coming across and gives DRG way too much. He's going to have to recall to the natural here. The Corruptor's there, may kill the Colossus, it does.
I think DRG hasn't just drone up and the game's over. If he drones now, the match, in my opinion, is definitely over. It has taken a lot longer than it should have, but at this point, with a good economy on the 4 bases that he has, I think there's no way.
It's just, there's a ton of cannons here at the top of the ramp, so this ending the game here is going to be hard, but there's just only sentries basically with a few stalkers.
Yeah,
he's dancing.
He's dancing, it's dancing. Okay, DRG, this is it, GG. But wow, that was... DongRaeGu with like taking a deep breath and like, yep, that was a lot harder than it should have been.
Yeah, that was a rough loss for Sora, but he still fought tooth and nail. Thing is, he will now play a different matchup, and he's not out of this group yet. He's going to play a Protoss versus Terran again, and he's also not going to have to worry about Daedalus Point. Yes, he dodged that one.
Yeah, he dodged that one by losing 0-2. No, but the thing really is, he made his tech work well for him. The one Warp Prism with the double Immortal, that really delayed DRG, and it prevented DRG from moving out. DRG lost the base in his main, and it bought Sora a lot of time to get an army out there that could really do something against the Roach composition that we had for DongRaeGu. DRG, would he have drawn up a little bit faster? I think there was no way for Sora to hold on that long, but without the economy behind it and them still having a similar economy, Sora actually making quite the stand there.
That Immortal drop, that was crazy. He killed the hatch. Had that drop been seen, and he had been able to clean that up and save the main base, and then also stop a forced cancel on his 4th base, DRG would have had like so much more production, so much more, you know, he could have made more larvae than on 4 bases against 2. The 3rd base would have been delayed even further. It was really about that one set of Immortals that we had.
Well, as is, though, we have DRG advancing to Code S, and Sora has to fight later on again against another Terran player. Our TVT is coming up in just a little bit. It's the losers match in this group. We have Reality going up against Hack. So, guys, stay tuned, and after the commercial break, we'll be back with the next match for you.